Today, I want to discuss or encourage you to bless Sri Lanka as a much endowed nation. We want to bless Sri Lanka because we are in a strategic location and we have excellent ports all around the country. From ancient times, Sri Lanka was much sought because of our strategic location, and we can earn a lot from our ports. So this last 45 days, we have earned a dollar income from the Colombo port, which usually we earn from Colombo port over 1 year. That is, of course, because of the trouble in the Suez Canal, in the Red Sea. Secondly, we want to bless God and we want to affirm this principle that in thanksgiving is recovery, in celebration is increase, in sorrowing in a godly way is rectification. So we are going to give thanks for God endowments of Sri Lanka. Secondly, we are going to celebrate our next generations will do much better than we will do, and that we will be able to place them in the correct fields for excellence, and the generous giving God gives will move to be a complete perfected gift, that with beneficence they become benefactors who are able to do very well for themselves and for others. These are hope for our next generation. So the second one we want to give thanks for. So remember the principles: thanksgiving for the endowment, celebration for what it could be, and a sorrowing, a godly sorrow for what went wrong, which provides rectification. So restoration, restitution, and rectification is how we look at it, and certainly not cursing, put down, blame. That's not the way we are going. So secondly, we want to bless God for Sri Lanka's bountiful ocean resources and the possibility of all this being harvested for the good of the nation, for economic resources, marine universities, and so on, for research, how other products may come through. And we have many fishing harbors all around the island, and our fishing industry will provide excellent protein, and also it will be exports. Already people have started making salmon factories, you may not know, and exporting salmon out of the country, which is also possible. Also, we want to thank God for the many reservoirs we have built by ancient kings, which are thriving with inland fisheries, which are also a rich source of protein. And thirdly, we bless God who has given Sri Lanka 126 rivers, all with potable water. What a great blessing. And we are the most water-rich country in the world. Already we are exporting water to other countries. And the next war or next conflict, they say, will be for potable water, drinkable water, rather than for oil. And Sri Lanka is well placed to provide the world with oil. Fourthly, we bless God who has given Sri Lanka fertile land with abounding paddy fields. Rice is the best cereal as far as protein goes. 8% of weight of rice is good quality protein. That's why we do not have kwashiorkor. So we thank God for that. Fifthly, we bless God who has given Sri Lanka many cash crops, tea, coconut, and rubber, who fetch high prices and often market leaders in the world's auctions of tea, rubber, and coconut. And we export desiccated coconut to Mars and other places that need desiccated coconut for their products. What a blessed country Sri Lanka is, and may our children, our next generation, find lucrative employment in all these resources God has given Sri Lanka. Sixthly, our excellent civil service coming down from British time, our ARFR systems. We were a well-managed country, and we know our country will return to these excellent systems of civil governance. Seventhly, we bless God for we have excellent medical and legal systems. Any mother who is pregnant and runs into difficulty needing a cesarean operation, there will be a hospital able to do a cesarean operation within 15 minutes of wherever you are staying. And we don't want our health services to run down any further, and our doctors are well trained, and other doctors come to Sri Lanka for their training, and other countries are thinking of coming for medical tourism. We are hopeful that it will be developed so well. So you remember the process: thanksgiving for what we have, celebrating for what we could be, and sorrowing for rectification. That's the purpose of this listing. So I encourage you to listen, share the clip when the clip is available. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. I am a medical academic. I have done some measure of research on these things. You may not know that the ships of King Solomon came to ports of Serendip in 920 BC, and he took from us cinnamon. We have the world's best cinnamon, as you know, precious stones, even peacocks from Sri Lanka, and ivory. And there's a possibility that Sri Lanka had a gold coast which sank into the sea during a sea quake. That's possible. And mythical King Ravana, in his time, there was much gold available. So gold beds and many other items of furniture made out of gold is archaeological knowledge. But we want to dwell in the present and present a land that would be a blessed isle, Sri Lanka, resplendent isle, blessed isle for our next generation. How are we going to do this? Thanksgiving and endowment, celebration of what is going to be our next generation placed in well-qualified positions to develop Sri Lanka, and then sorrowing so that rectification may come. We are not turning to blasting, cursing or blaming. We are turning to sorrowing for rectification. If you want the technical term, it's called repentance. 8, we want to bless Sri Lanka for our primary schools close at hand. Any child can walk to a primary school in any village. That's how well equipped our education is. We don't want it to run down any further. Many A-level teachers have gone abroad, but we want our education systems to be well up, as we have been well known for excellent education systems. Then 10thly, we want to bless God for Sri Lanka and our gas deposits in the Manas seabed area, and also petroleum of low sulfur fit for airlines, airplanes, and the vast deposits of this gas would be available soon to make Sri Lanka prosperous. This is how we think. 12th point, the 11th point I want to make is what we all know: precious stones, unusual blue sapphire, and this kind of precious stones with which we are endowed. 12th, bless God who has given Sri Lanka many excellent schools coming from British times, great schools of good standing, who built up students to face any requirement here or abroad. Then 13th, we bless God who has given Sri Lanka a great IT prowess, and our cyber security is rated very highly world over, and they come to us for our cyber security experts are paid handsome income because of our expertise. We want to thank God for that brain. 14th, bless God who has given Sri Lanka a garments industry, well known for our ability to deliver timelines and so on. 15th, bless God who gives Sri Lanka university alumni who can occupy any position in the world. I know personally some my colleagues and contemporaries of Colombo Medical Faculty who have risen to highest academic positions world over, and one of them is the general editor of the most used undergraduate pathology book in the USA, and another one was for a long time the editor of the Medicine International Immunology. And I just want to tell you that I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. I was batched up all the time in the Colombo Medical Faculty, so I celebrate Sri Lanka's good endowment. Remember the principle of James 1:17, every generous giving from God the Father is to develop into a perfect or complete gift. Then we become benefactors using our gift, helping others, doctor, lawyer, engineer, whatever, using our gift, helping others. Then 15th, 16th, we bless God who has given Sri Lanka an excellent NBQ system, and our graduates, NBQ qualified people, skilled people can be employed in any field they have been skilled in any part of the world. That's how good our NBQ system is. So don't look down and bad mouth. There are many things, many endowments. What's the process? Thanksgiving and celebration for what our next generation will become, sorrowing for rectification, to put it right. 17th, we have the world's best cinnamon, as you know. And we can put many other things, but I think that is enough. And finally, we want to sorrow for the plunder that has happened to Sri Lanka, but we have a promise that our Good Shepherd will work with each one of us. And he is a personal Good Shepherd. We have a promise that when Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd, gave his life on the cross, he looked at every nation in the world for their best prospects. And he will bless our nation, and it's a personal call that we receive this Good Shepherd into our life, and he promises, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, and he leads me by the still waters. For his name's sake, he will lead me in paths of righteousness. So how can nations know righteousness when people in positions of influence know the paths of righteousness? So the Good Shepherd comes into our life and helps us to walk the paths of righteousness. If not, we go crooked easily in spite of our education. If education could have taught us righteousness, we are the most educated generation when we are going so wrong. So he promises that he will anoint our head with oil, and our cup will overflow. We will have enough, and we will have more than enough to share with others. He furnishes my table, my portion in life, my share of influence, who my colleagues will be, who will be seated with me at the table of equipment, table of skill God gives me. That's how God governs nations, by providing tables for those whom would walk with God. And they have a table from which others learn, others receive, livelihoods being managed. That's what a table that God provides. It's a promise. He anoints my head with oil, my cup runs over, and he provides a table of provision from which I can, my family can, my children can, my children's children can, and besides that, many colleagues and juniors learning and receiving livelihood at my table. And that's what a benefactor is, that the Good Shepherd can make of each one of us. So thank you for listening. And if you want any more clips on reason, science, or spirituality, please send me a WhatsApp to 074 211 5011. If you are overseas, plus 94 74 211 5011. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. Thank you for listening.